In a completely unoriginal and stolen idea, I'm covering one of the biggest asswipes of TF2. An idea stolen from Bigb the Fluffy Redneck. I highly encourage everyone to go subscribe to him if you aren't already. I will take this down if Bigb requests, but I think this particular person needs to be talked about more often, and ousted from the TF2 and more broadly the Valve/Source community. This person is not only highly annoying, but has proven to be a detriment to the community multiple times, some of that being alleged. Tyler Mcvicker is a man-child wannabe journalist. He's been covering Valve-related news and quote-unquote news for years now, longer than I've been personally invested in the Valve community. Tyler's idea of journalism is harassing Valve employees so much that he allegedly gets a tard wrangler hired specifically to deal with him. Along with prolonged and persistent harassment of Valve, Tyler's journalism also involves taking the information provided by his Valve insiders and putting it into one of his videos. Except these insiders are actually just data miners on Reddit publicly posting what they find in Dota 2 and Counter-Strike updates. And Tyler rarely, if not ever, gives these people credit. And he only recently started doing this data mining himself. If Tyler isn't doing a journalism, he's posting his dogshit takes and theories about Valve's latest projects. Tyler has gotten 2 of these theories right, if I recall properly, and one of them was a Half-Life VR game, a broad idea that could have encompassed anything. Despite that, Tyler ran with that taste of success and considered himself the end-all be-all of Valve project theorizing and news. Tyler, the soy-riddled man-baby he is, makes a soy face at anything Valve made. Someone who unironically printed off the cards from Artifact to play the game in real life, before the game officially released. Tyler is so obsessed with anything Valve, he happily and unknowingly leaks the barely functional build of Half-Life Alyx and actively shits on the unfinished build on livestream. Tyler does this only to be scolded like a toddler who pissed on the curtains by Valve employees, having to explain to him like he's a child why he can't show unfinished products to his livestream audience. If Valve isn't embarrassing Tyler for being an idiot, is Tyler embarrassing himself by getting trolled by snood posters from V during a live stream interview with the Fallout New Vegas The Frontier devs, which is a dumpster fire embarrassment enough by itself. If Tyler isn't going on accidental anti-semantic rants about the USS Liberty or asking who Sneed is, he's making the same video again and again about quote-unquote news. Thankfully, after the rebrand of his channel and Twitter from Valve News Network to just Tyler Mcvicker, his TF2 quote-unquote news videos, where he uses clickbait titles to get stupid people to click on it and watch 10 minutes of, well, Valve pretty much said what they did last time, but 2 people are still working on it. Each time he makes a quote-unquote news video. After Tyler is done stringing along his fan base with his insider information, he's weaseling into TF2/Source community projects and somehow fucking them up. Specifically Creators.tf, a set of community servers that had custom maps, weapons, and cosmetics. A lot of people shit on Creators.tf, and granted, most of what they put out was kind of dog shit, but the effort was in the right place. Unfortunately, these servers are dead and gone because of Tyler Mcvicker. Now, I have to specify, the type of grooming Tyler did was not sexual. Many people exaggerate what Tyler did, but I had to explicitly state that Tyler did not sexually groom a teenager. Tyler's grooming was a petty power play. Now, before Tyler got into power, him and his troon goons were pushing for an aggressive chat filter that would ban people for saying no-no words on their servers. Something the Russian teenage boy that was leading the project personally disagreed with. Tyler was originally just a PR guy for Creators.tf, but through his talking with the project lead, he gained more and more power. Eventually, Tyler kind of became the de facto project lead. What did King Tyler do with his empire of rubble? Well, he immediately had it degenerate into infighting over who would lead the project, and ultimately the original project lead stopped paying for the servers and the project died. Now that's pretty bad, but Tyler, being a petty tyrant over his pile of manure, all for his insecurities about his troon brother and similar people being called troons in Tyler's presence, Tyler's political agenda took priority over making a functional product. Allegedly, Tyler tried doing something similar with Team Fortress 2 Classic and Open Fortress. Tyler allegedly tried weaseling into those projects and got denied. Then he went on to allegedly snitch to Valve that these mods were using the leaked TF2 source code, in which made Valve, quote-unquote, temporarily, indefinitely, take down the mods. That TF2 source code is probably the worst thing Tyler has caused, and is somewhat directly responsible for. Tyler, for some inexplicable reason, had access to the TF2/CSGO source codes for a while, and would share this with his friends. This comes into play when Tyler and some troons were working on a Portal 2 beta called F-Stop Recreation Project. The project was nothing more than a collection of shitty source maps with nothing actually done. To make a long story short, some fucking tranny called JC, Jackathan at one point, was an annoying attention-seeking drama queen, and one of the 6 tards Tyler had wrangled into the project rightfully called JC out on this. According to Tyler, these two would regularly argue in and outside of the project. Eventually, the troon snitches at Tyler, and Tyler, being the troon-worshipping soy boy he is, kicks the other guy out of the project. Since Tyler shared the TF2/Counter-Strike source code with all these people, this tard decided to get back at Tyler by leaking the source code. This source code leak has single-handedly enabled the bots to do what they do today. I've had tards argue about this, that the bots always existed, blah blah blah. Something in that source code leak enabled these bots we currently have, and previous primitive bots were not as much of a nuisance as they are today. I know in some archive V or TF2 general thread on VG explain what exactly the bots are using to operate via the source code leak, but I can't find it currently. Tyler Mcvicker is ultimately responsible for the bot crisis, and he's the one that shared the source code in the first place. Regardless of the others' actions, Tyler is the one that enabled this to happen. Tyler, of course, denies all responsibility for this mess. Tyler has proven himself to be a liability to both Valve and the Valve community. A big politically motivated grifter that for some reason has a following, which leads me to believe a portion of the Valve sphere is genuinely a bunch of mindless drones operated by goblins. So what can you as an individual do? Well, take Bigb's advice. Laugh at this type of people. Make fun of them. No, I'm not encouraging a harassment campaign against Tyler by any means, but you have to let stupid people know they're stupid. Do as V or VG does, and mock him. Anytime Tyler is mentioned on those two boards, it's met with remarks of Tyler McNigger, or mentions of one of the many stupid things Tyler has done related to Valve. Anytime you see Tyler make a stupid fucking claim, call him out on it. Let Tyler know that he's a fucking idiot, and will never be a real journalist. Make others aware of what a liability Tyler is to any project, be it a game, mod, comic, or entertainment-related project. Now on to why I personally care. 1. I'm autistic, and hyperfixate on my particular interests, which just so happens to be niche Valve-related drama. 2. I have a deep fondness for community projects. I love source projects of many varieties, be it Half-Life 2 beta recreations, TF2 source mods, or source filmmaker shows/movies. I have a love for them, and Tyler has shown multiple times that he is an active threat to any of them. He will prioritize protecting tranny fieldings above all else, even if that means actively killing a project directly or indirectly. If not that, he may very well accidentally lead to the leaking of project files or important documents due to his incompetence. He's a liability at best and an active danger to a project at worst. I myself have come up with ideas for source projects, one of which has the working title of Team Fortress Victoria, and this is one of my biggest concerns for the project. Some petty faggot coming in and causing pointless infighting. 3. Preservation of the community's culture. Valve/Source games have always had a tight-knit, gate-kept culture, in which only those willing to assimilate into it are allowed into it. A place where you can say whatever you wanted, shit-talk yours and the enemy's teams, where you could call a faggot and shit on furries for being furries. A place where the community is self-moderated and didn't need chat filters or power-tripping admins to protect their feelings. As the years have gone on, and more of the old guard leads these games, less and less people keep these retards that invade the game in check, which ultimately leads to the replacement of the old guard altogether. Watch my SCP and gatekeeping video for more clarification on this process. It's important to preserve this culture of the old internet, as once it's gone, there's no getting it back. Because that's exactly what Tyler McChicken wants, to change the culture, to actively undermine it. Not much else can be said. Please subscribe to Bigb, the Fluffy Redneck's BitChute/YouTube. Links in the description.
tiny bits.